I woke up bald just 24 hours before my sister's wedding. My own mother did it while I was asleep. She said I was too pretty, that I needed to be put in my place. My dad? He laughed and said, "Now maybe someone will finally pity you." I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just smiled because they had no idea what I was about to do. I woke up bald, like completely bald. No hair, not even a little bit, just 24 hours before my sister's wedding. At first, I thought I was dreaming. I rubbed my eyes and blinked hard. Then I reached up to scratch my head and felt it, smooth, cold, empty. My heart started beating fast. I jumped out of bed and ran to the mirror. That's when I saw it. No long curls, no soft waves, no shine, just skin. A round, bare head staring back at me. I froze. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. I looked like someone else. No, I looked like no one, like I didn't belong in my own body anymore. My name is Maya, and I'm 17 years old. This is the story of how my own parents tried to destroy me and how I destroyed them right back. Let me take you back to that morning. After I saw my bald head in the mirror, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even touch the scissors sitting on my dresser. I just walked downstairs. My legs felt weak, like jelly. My feet moved by themselves. It was like my body knew what to do before my brain did. When I got to the kitchen, I saw my mom standing by the stove. She was making eggs like it was a normal day, like she hadn't just stolen something from me. Then I saw the scissors, the same pink scissors I used to cut ribbons for gift boxes. They were lying on the counter, open, with a few long brown strands still stuck between the blades. I looked at my mom. She looked right back at me and smiled. "Good morning," she said, like nothing happened. Then she added, "You always try to steal the spotlight. This is justice." I blinked. Justice? Before I could say a word, my dad walked in holding his coffee. He looked at me once and laughed. "Now maybe someone will finally pity you," he said, sipping his drink. They both laughed. I just stood there. My heart was beating so fast I thought I might pass out. But I didn't move. I didn't shout. I didn't let them see even one tear. That would have made them happy. Instead, I took a deep breath and said, "Okay, cool." My mom raised her eyebrow. My dad looked confused. But I didn't explain. I just walked away, calm and quiet, because I knew something they didn't. 2 weeks ago, my sister asked me to help her with her wedding slideshow. She said, "You're good with computers, Maya. Can you help me make it beautiful?" She handed me her laptop and gave me full access. That was her biggest mistake.
While I was organizing her files, I saw a folder that didn't belong. It was named Math Notes, but something told me to open it, and what I found inside changed everything. Text messages, videos, screenshots, voice notes, all from another guy. Not her fiancé, not the man she was about to marry in front of 200 guests. No, this was someone else. A tall guy with tattoos and messy hair. He was in almost every video, kissing her, holding her, calling her baby. One message said, "I wish it was you I was marrying." And that message was sent just 3 nights ago. At first, I didn't know what to do with the information. I thought maybe I'd delete it or ignore it. But after that morning in the kitchen, after I saw my mom smile like I was her enemy, after I heard my dad laugh at me like I was a joke, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I went back to my room, sat on my bed, stared at myself in the mirror again. I looked ugly. That's what they wanted. They wanted to break my spirit. They wanted to make me feel small. But instead, they gave me power. I opened my laptop and pulled up my sister's slideshow file. It had all her cute childhood photos, her and her fiancé smiling at the beach, holding hands at the fair, dancing in the kitchen. It was sweet, romantic, fake. I smiled. And then I started building my version. The beginning would look just like hers. Pictures of her as a baby, her laughing, playing with dolls, eating cake. Then, slowly, the truth would sneak in. Text messages, videos, that voice note where she said she was only marrying for money. I saved everything. That night, I went online and ordered the most beautiful black wig I could find. It was long, wavy, and silky, just like my old hair, maybe even better. I paid for express delivery. It would arrive the next morning. I smiled to myself and whispered, "Let's play." I couldn't sleep that night. I lay in bed with a scarf wrapped around my bald head, staring at the ceiling. My thoughts were loud. Not just loud, they were screaming. I kept thinking, how could they do that to me? How could my own parents cut off all my hair while I slept? But every time I felt the sting in my chest, I reminded myself of one thing. They have no idea what I'm about to do. When morning came, I heard the doorbell ring. It was 8:13 a.m. I ran to the door before anyone else could reach it. The delivery man stood outside holding a box with a big sticker that said, "Priority." I signed quickly, took the box, and rushed to my room. Inside was the wig I ordered. Black, shiny, soft, and long as it almost touched my waist. It was perfect. I tried it on in front of the mirror and gasped. Even I couldn't believe how beautiful I looked. I turned my head left and right, flipped the hair, smiled. I didn't look broken anymore. I looked like revenge.
But to understand how we got here, you need to know a little more about my sister. Her name is Amber. She's 23. And for as long as I can remember, she was the golden girl. Straight A's, perfect hair, pretty teeth. My mom would always say, "Amber is going places, Maya. Be more like her." Amber was the kind of girl who always had an audience. Cheer captain, prom queen, daddy's favorite. Everyone loved her, even when she was mean. And she was mean, especially to me. She'd laugh at my clothes, tell people I was adopted. Once, she even took my diary and read it out loud at her birthday party. Everyone laughed while I cried in the corner. But I stayed quiet. I always stayed quiet. Because no matter what she did, my parents never stopped praising her. To them, Amber could do no wrong. Until now. 2 weeks ago, when she asked me to help her with the wedding slideshow, I felt surprised. She never asked me for help. She barely even talked to me unless she needed something. But I said yes. I wanted to feel useful. I wanted her to see that I could do something right. She gave me her laptop and told me, just organize the photos and add some music. I want it to make people cry. I opened the laptop and started going through her files. That's when I saw the folder called Math Notes. Amber never saved anything under boring names like that. She always used emojis or weird words like ES Queen or Slay Day. So something felt off. I clicked it, and my whole body went cold. Inside were videos. The first one I opened showed her and a guy with dark skin and tattoos sitting in his car. They were laughing, then kissing. She whispered, "I wish I could run away with you." Another video showed her in a hotel room, spinning in her bridesmaid's dress. The man behind the camera said, "You look like a dream." She said, "Too bad I'm marrying the wrong man." I opened the screenshots next. Messages like, "I'll always love you, even if I have to marry someone else." "This is just for the money. You know that, right?"
Don't worry, babe. After the wedding, I'll still sneak away to see you. Then came the audio recordings. My hand shook as I listened. One message was sent just 3 nights ago. Amber's voice. I hate lying to him, but his family is loaded. We're talking houses, cars, a vacation home in Greece. Once the ring's on my finger, I'm set. I felt sick. How could she do this? How could she pretend to be in love with someone just for money? Worse, how could she smile and say all those things while planning a whole wedding? Her fiancé, Nathan, was kind. He always smiled at me. He even brought me chocolate when I had a bad cold. He didn't deserve this. I wanted to tell him right away, but something in me said, wait. Think. That's when the idea hit me. The slideshow. Everyone would be watching it. Grandparents, friends, the pastor, the whole church. It would be the moment. If I switched her slideshow with my version, she wouldn't just be caught. She'd be caught in front of everyone. It wouldn't just ruin the wedding. It would ruin her perfect image. Suddenly, the shy girl who always stayed quiet had a secret more powerful than any scream. The next few days, I worked carefully. Every night, when everyone slept, I edited the video. I made it look sweet at the start. The few baby pictures, some birthday clips, soft piano music. Then slowly, the truth crept in. First, the messages. Then, the videos. Then, the voice note. I made sure it ended with a black screen and the words, "Do you still want to marry her?" I saved the file on a secret USB stick, kept it hidden in the bottom of my makeup drawer. I also renamed it weddingfinal.mp4, so if someone opened the folder during the wedding, they'd think it was the real one. By the night before the wedding, everything was ready. Except I wasn't. Because that's the night my mom cut my hair. That's the night they decided to make sure I stayed in the background. But it didn't matter, because I wasn't staying in the background anymore. I had the truth. And tomorrow, the whole world would see it. The morning of the wedding felt fake, like everyone was acting in a play, smiling, laughing, pretending everything was perfect. But under their skin, I knew there were secrets. And one of them was mine. I woke up early and slipped on my wig. It was black, shiny, and soft. I brushed it gently, making sure every strand was smooth. When I looked in the mirror, I saw someone new. Not the scared girl from yesterday, not the bald girl my parents wanted to humiliate. No, I looked like power. I wore a fitted black dress, nothing too loud, but just enough to turn heads. It hugged my waist and flared at the bottom. Simple, elegant, unforgettable. When I walked downstairs, my mom looked up from her cup of tea. Her eyes scared me from head to toe. Her smile dropped for a second. "You bought a wig?" she said. I smiled back. "Yep." She blinked. Then my dad chuckled. "Doesn't matter. A plastic crown is still fake." I didn't reply. What could they say that could touch me now? They thought they ruined my confidence, but all they did was sharpen it. At the wedding venue, everything looked like a dream. White flowers, golden chairs, candles floating in clear glass jars. There were rose petals on the ground and a giant arch covered in vines. Amber stood near the mirror in the dressing room, surrounded by her bridesmaids. Her dress sparkled like stars, tight at the top, flowing at the bottom, with beads across the chest. "You look like a princess," one of her friends said. She laughed, flipping her hair. "I am a princess." I stood quietly by the wall, holding her phone and pretending to check the slideshow one more time. But it wasn't her version on the USB stick. It was mine, the real one, the secret one. And in a few hours, the world would see it. The morning of the wedding was short. The pastor spoke. The guests smiled. Amber walked down the aisle while soft music played. Nathan stood at the front, looking like he could cry. He looked so happy, so proud. He had no idea. They said their vows. They kissed. Everyone clapped.
But I was counting down in my head because the real show was still coming. At the reception, we all moved to a beautiful hall filled with lights and music. The walls were covered with white curtains and glowing fairy lights. There were golden tables, wine glasses, and tiny wedding favors on every plate. People were eating, drinking, taking pictures. I kept glancing at the screen in the corner, the one where the slideshow would play. It was big, very big, perfect for everyone to see. Amber grabbed a microphone and stood up. "Before we bring out the cake," she said, "I want to share something special, a little journey through my life and our love story." Everyone clapped politely. She smiled, then turned to me and whispered, "Press play." I nodded, and I did. The screen lit up. Soft music began to play. A picture of baby Amber filled the screen. Chubby cheeks and a yellow onesie. Everyone chuckled. Then clips of her as a child, riding a bike, blowing out birthday candles, holding a puppy. The guests smiled. My mom wiped a tear. Teenage Amber in a pink dress. College Amber hugging her friends. Amber and Nathan eating ice cream, dancing in the kitchen, laughing under fireworks. It was beautiful, warm, magical. Until the screen blinked. The music stopped for a moment. Then a new clip. Amber in a car with someone else. He kissed her cheek, then her lips. The room went silent. Someone gasped. The screen changed again. Text messages. "Amber, this is just for money. You know that, right?" Him. "Yeah, but it still hurts." Amber. "Once I get the ring, nothing else matters." Him. "What about him?" "He's rich. Not special." Whispers started spreading like wildfire. Is this real? What's going on? Who's that guy? The video continued. Amber laughing in a hotel room. Amber saying, "I wish it was you I was marrying." Then the final screen. "Do you still want to marry her?" Black. Silent. All eyes turned to Amber. Her face was frozen. Her mouth opened, then closed. Her wine glass slipped from her fingers and shattered on the floor. Nathan stood up. His jaw was clenched. His hands were shaking. "Is this a joke?" Amber tried to speak, but no words came out. People started getting up. The air was heavy, too heavy. My mom rushed forward. "This is fake. Someone edited this. It's not real." But Amber's face said otherwise. Nathan stared at her, then turned and walked out. Guests followed. No one touched the food. No one cut the cake. No one danced. The wedding was over. Just like that. I stayed in my seat the whole time. Quiet, still, my wig shining under the lights. I didn't laugh. I didn't gloat. I just sat there, smiling.
because they tried to make me feel small. But I made sure they'd never forget me again. The room emptied fast. One moment it was full of laughter, wine, and music. The next, it was full of whispers, gasps, and footsteps walking away. Amber just stood there, frozen, her face pale, her lips trembling. She looked like a statue, one made of glass, cracking from the inside. Nathan didn't come back. Not after he walked out. Not even after her dad called his phone 3 times.
People were scared to look at her. Even her bridesmaids backed away slowly, holding their dresses up like they were walking through fire. I stayed in my chair, quiet, calm, still. My hands folded neatly in my lap. My wig, perfect. My smile, soft. Inside, I was screaming, but not with fear, with victory. Because this was my moment, my justice, and nobody could take it away. My mom stormed toward me. Her heels clicked hard against the floor. Her hands clenched into fists. "You did this!" she shouted. Her voice bounced around the room, loud and sharp like a slap. I blinked, but I didn't answer. "Admit it, that video was yours. That wasn't the original slideshow." My dad came too, his face red, eyes wild. "Where did you even find those videos? Did you break into her phone? You little—" "Stop," I said. Just one word, quiet, but strong. They froze. I stood up, my voice steady. "She gave me her laptop," I said. "She asked me to help. I didn't steal anything. I found what she was hiding." My mom's mouth opened, but nothing came out. I didn't create lies. I just showed the truth. For a second, no one said anything. Then Amber screamed, a high, broken sound, like a mirror being thrown across the room. "You ruined me! My wedding, my future! Nathan was the best thing that ever happened to me!" I tilted my head. "Then why did you cheat on him?" Her eyes went wide. "You think you're so smart? You think you're a hero?" "No," I said. "I think I finally stopped being your shadow." Everyone saw it now. Who Amber really was, who I really was, who our parents really were. They saw the favoritism, the cruelty, the lies under the shiny surface. For once, I wasn't the quiet one in the background. I wasn't the less pretty sister. I wasn't the girl they left at. I was the storm. After the reception, we went home in silence. No one spoke in the car. My dad's hands gripped the steering wheel like he wanted to crush it. My mom stared out the window. Amber sat in the back, beside me, her makeup smudged and dress wrinkled. She didn't look like a bride anymore. She looked like a ghost. When we got home, my mom turned to me. "You embarrassed this family. You humiliated your sister in front of everyone." I looked her straight in the eye. "No," I said. "She humiliated herself. I just made sure people saw it." My mom slapped the table. You're jealous. You've always been jealous. I took a deep breath. I've always wanted love, not attention, not lies, just love. Then I got up and went to my room. That night, Amber locked herself in her room. She didn't eat, didn't come out. Not even when my aunt came over and knocked on her door for 20 minutes. Nathan blocked her number. His family removed every wedding photo from social media. The news spread fast. People love drama more than cake. And this wedding, it became the story. Some called me cruel. Some called me brave. But I didn't care what anyone thought. Because I finally saw myself. I was not weak. I was not invisible. I was enough. The next day, my parents told me to leave. They said I was toxic, that I destroyed the family. My dad threw my bag on the porch. My mom said, "Go stay with someone else. You're not welcome here anymore." I nodded. No begging, no crying. Just peace, because I already planned for this. I had money saved, a friend who owed me a favor, and a dream that I had buried deep inside me for too long. This wasn't the end. This was my beginning. I left that house with nothing but my phone, a small bag, and the wig still on my head. But I felt free, lighter, like I finally dropped all the weight I'd carried since I was a little girl, trying so hard to be seen, to be loved. Now, I didn't need their approval. I had something stronger, my truth. That night, I slept on my friend Layla's couch. The blanket was scratchy and the room was cold. But I slept better than I had in years. Because for the first time, I wasn't pretending. I wasn't hiding. I wasn't afraid. It's been 3 months since the wedding. 3 months since I walked out of that house and never looked back. People still talk about it sometimes. They call it the scandal wedding or the cheating bride video. Clips even ended up online. Someone at the wedding recorded the slideshow with their phone. It went viral. Amber deleted all her social media. She tried to go on a trip with her friends to forget everything, but no one wanted to go with her. Her phone barely rings now. As for Nathan, he moved on fast. A few weeks later, I saw a picture with him with a new girl. They looked happy, and more importantly, real. He deserved that. I stayed with Layla for a month. She and her mom were kind to me. They didn't ask questions. They just let me heal. Layla even helped me find a small job at a bookstore nearby. It wasn't fancy, but it paid enough to rent a room. The room is small, just a bed, a table, and a window. But it's mine. And for the first time in my life, I feel safe in my own space. I wake up when I want. I cook my own food. I decorate the walls with soft lights and little drawings I make in my sketchbook. Every morning, I brush my wig gently and whisper, "You're not just pretty, you're powerful." But guess what? Some days I don't wear the wig at all. Some days I go outside bald, head high, shoulders back, because I'm not hiding anymore. One afternoon, I got a message from Amber. Just 2 words. Why me? I stared at it for a long time. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. At first, I wanted to say everything, all the years she mocked me, all the times she let Mom compare us, all the nights I cried while she laughed, but I didn't. Instead, I typed one sentence. "You were never the victim." Then I deleted her number. My parents never apologized, not once. They still believe I ruined Amber's life. Not her actions, not her lies, me. And that's okay, because I've learned something. Sometimes your peace comes after letting go of people, letting go of pain,
letting go of needing to be understood by those who never cared to understand you. I started a little blog last month. Just me writing stories, sharing thoughts, telling the truth. One post went viral. My parents cut my hair so I'd look less pretty at my sister's wedding, so I took revenge. Thousands of people read it. Hundreds commented things like, "Thank you for being brave." I felt every word. I wish I had done what you did. Some called me cruel, said I should have handled it quietly. But I'm not sorry. Because when people cross lines, they need to know the truth has teeth. And sometimes it bites back. One day, I looked at an old picture of me. Before the wedding, before the wig, before everything. Long curls, sad eyes. That girl wanted to be seen, loved, chosen. Now, I don't need to be chosen. I choose me. I choose my healing, my growth, my peace. The pain they caused me didn't break me. It opened a door to a version of myself I didn't even know existed. Strong, calm, dangerous, but in a good way. The kind of dangerous that protects herself, that stands up, that doesn't let cruelty win. Sometimes I still remember that morning, waking up bald, feeling hollow. And then I remember what came next. The silence, the slideshow, the gasp, the glass shattering. And I smile. Because that moment wasn't about revenge. It was about rebirth. So if you're reading this and you've ever been the forgotten one, the background character, the girl they tried to doll, listen closely. You are not too quiet. You are not too soft. You are not too much. You're just enough. And when you're ready, you can rise, just like I did. Subscribe for more stories. Don't forget to tell me where you are watching from.